Hi guys, welcome to the Wolfpack with me, Dan, and today we're going to be talking about the fact that Mario Lemina has been made Wolves captain. Finally, Wolves have a new captain for the next season. There's a lot to talk about, so stick around. I'll see you in a minute.
We're out for blood. Better run, better run. Here it comes, here it comes. Better run. When the Wolves come out to play.
Right, before we get started, guys, do me a big favour. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more videos when they come out. And it does us a massive, massive favour going forward as well. Helps you with the algorithm, but also helps know that that we're doing the right things that you're enjoying. Let us know down in the comments your feelings about Lemina being our new captain. I'm going to tell you about my thoughts at the end. We're going to go through what Lemina's had to say and what Gary's had to say as well. But yes, so let's get into it. Let's get straight into it. So this is what Lemina has to say about it. So on taking over as captain, he says he feels proud. It means a lot for him. I've been working really hard for the group. I've been one of the leaders, one of the most contagious players in the team. I have a really good relationship with the gaffer and the players, so I can be the in-between and try to transmit the best message to both. We talked about it last year because I was one of the leaders. Max was the captain and he's been really important for us, but I was contagious for the players. The way I behave, the way I train, the way I do my stuff on and off the pitch, I try to transmit things to everybody. Everyone is happy and normal. They already knew from last year who I was and what I can give to them on and off the pitch. So he seems really, really excited, seems really, really up for it. But what I really like is the fact that this isn't new. This is something that obviously Gary and himself have been talking about since the end of the season, basically. Or maybe, just in case Max was to leave, or I just like that they already had that sort of planned, and it's not something that's been thrown at him or whatever. He's very much embraced it, and he's had time to think about what he's going to say and do and everything. So yeah, this is a little bit about what he has to say about the club. So he says, when you work hard and people around you give you praise, you just want to give back every minute. Every time you spend at the club, on and off the pitch, you want to make them proud all of the time, and that's what I do. And I think this step at Wolves has made me realise I love football, and I love to be on the pitch, being competitive. The supporters trust me, and the club has given me so much confidence, and I need to give it back. It was really special for me with the bond with the fans. It says, I never lie on the pitch. I always give my best and they recognise it. And the main thing for me, even when it was a hard situation, they were there for me. When I was away, they were there for me. We are a big family and I'm really proud to be here. So if you don't know, unfortunately, Mario lost his dad some way through the last season, and it was really, really difficult, obviously, for him and his family and everything. But the club supported him, and we supported him, and it was really, really lovely to see. His shirt held up in a celebration, and I think he's really embraced the club since then, even more. I think that seeing just what the club was like at that time, what we were like as fans, I just think that was a really, really hard thing for him to go through. But we all really admire him for what he did, because he could have just said, you know what, I can't do this for this next season. I'll be back in the new season and whatever. But he didn't. He came back, and he just did his absolute best. And that's what we love as fans. You know what I mean? We love players that are passionate about wearing the badge, and you get that with Mario. So I'm going to talk about what I think about him at the end, but yeah, I just love that. I love that from him. So this is him about Gary. So he says, Gary for me is a fantastic manager, to be honest. He's the type of manager I want to be when I become a manager, hopefully one day. He understands players. He knows how to talk with players. He recognises that we do mistakes and we can talk. I think it's about trust and that's what I've found with Gary. So what I really love about that is the fact that I don't think he's gone on record to say that he wants to be a manager at any point or anything. But what's amazing is he's saying that he'd like to be a manager like Gary. So what I take from that is that this is his next step, and Gary's been able to give him that, and Wolves have been able to give him that. So I actually think that this is going to really benefit him as a player and as a human being. I think this is a really a good move for all involved, really. So this is about him being a captain. He says, I'm the captain with the armband, but I'm not the only one. There's lots of players in the team who deserve to be captain as well. Nelson, Cunha, Dawson. But I think we're going to split the work. I'm going to try to be myself like I was last year, of course. I have a give. It has to give a little bit more because it means a lot more. We work and understand each other, and captaincy isn't about one person, it's about a group. For me, it's going to be normal. I'm going to try and do my best, be the best version of myself, try and get fit as quick as I can to give what I gave last year. So let's get ready. So what I really like about that is he's saying that he's basically not going to change all too much, which I kind of like, because sometimes you get a different captain come in and everything, and the whole thing's changed, and sometimes that can be, you know, really good and helpful and whatever, but sometimes it can really shake up a dressing room and everything. And what I like to see about that is that he's not scared to admit that, you know, he's not going to bear the responsibility on his own, and there's a lot of leadership within the changing room that's going to help him out as well. So yeah, I really like that. I think that's really refreshing to hear, to be fair. So let's talk about what O'Neill has to say about Mario. So he says he was a standout choice for me. We have some really good leaders in the group, and I'll definitely lean on all of them throughout the season. But I think Mario, with where he is, it's really good timing for him. He has big respect from the players and around all the different groups. Manages to get on well with loads of them and drives standards. As a player, you go through spells in your career of being young and full of potential to being an established starter, and then you go into the leadership category, and I think Mario was in that already, and this confirms it for him and gives him a real drive and focus on what he needs to be for the group now. He says, we had a little chat to check his thinking. He was really pleased and excited, and he's done it really well. Since he's taken over for the last few weeks, he's been excellent. I thought it would help him with his next step from established player to leader, and the early signs have been really positive. He's been excellent so far. So what I really like about that is the fact that, like I said earlier, it's almost like Gary's giving him the incentive to go to that next step further now and be the leader on the pitch and develop that part of his game. But I really think this is going to be a really smooth transition. I really do. I think he's already got that in him anyway, and we've already seen that in him. It'd be nice for him to be able to, you know, run to the referee without getting carded, because apparently captains are allowed to do that anyway. So that should be interesting. So yeah, he talked about Mario transitioning into this role. He says Mario knew about it fairly early. With the players coming back at different times, making an announcement was tricky. I'd like to wait until we were all together as a group, but it's not always possible to do it in the perfect way. Talks about the several players not being back yet, but Mario's known about it, and he's been putting things in place, and he thinks are important for him in the group. He's very good at portraying the messages that we want and what the group likes. I'm excited to see what he can do, what Mario can do, and how the group can perform this year with Mario as captain. He says it is quite funny. This is. He says Mario is far better than I was, but there's some stuff that I can help Mario with, which I like about him. He does differences to me. He has differences to me, and I think together we can come up with some really good stuff that can help. This will help him. He'll help us firstly as staff. Mario will definitely help us. He'll take care of a lot of stuff with the group without it coming back to us, and I think I can help him with the next step, what it looks like, and hopefully we can improve his performance levels again, because he knows he's hugely respected and he's been looked at as the leader for some time. He said, Actually, we'll talk about that a little bit actually, because there's some interesting things in there. Um, I like that he compares Mario to himself a little bit. I think by that he means that he's got a bit of a voice and a good head on his shoulders and everything, and he's also a midfielder as well. So he obviously sees a little bit of himself in Mario, which is amazing. So yeah, he's talking about more leaders. So there are good leaders. They can be an emotional group. They can be very up and down with results and things when things go against. But we're working hard on that. We're not taking the emotion away from them, because that can be powerful at times. But we're trying to control it on and off the pitch. This week's a good one for them. We're in Miami, but we have work to do. So they need to focus and find the balance. Of course, we'll give them some free time, but they need to focus when it's time to work. So Gary's talking about there something that I think I'm not alone in this, that our group is very emotional. They are very, very emotional. They will throw the toys out the pram when things aren't going their way. And to be fair, things haven't gone their way for Wolves. There's been a lot of VAR decisions. There's been a lot of tackles and all sorts of random crap that's made it a hard season for Wolves and everything with officials and you know. But I think what Gary's saying there is that he's trying to drill that out of them basically, because I do think that we have to be careful having Lemina as captain because he is a very emotional person. But in saying that, you didn't get any of that with Max Kilman. He was very, like, if anything, the opposite way. He was so lackluster to emotion that sometimes when you needed him to be a bit emotional and really, drill his point home, I just don't think he ever really did that. I mean, you saw that when he got headbutted against Fulham, and he just sort of was just like, "Oh, ref, look at that. That's bad. That is." Where really he should have made a big deal about it. And if he did, there might have been a yellow or red card there. And there's just little instances really where I think that he could have been a little bit more vocal, and I think if Lemina was in that situation, I think he will be. So my opinion of it all, I think Lemina being captain just makes sense. It was one of my first choices. It was either going to be him or Cunha, really. It depended on what Wolves wanted. They obviously want more experience over youth. I think that that's only going to really help, because I think that a captain with experience is always better than youthful captains, in my opinion. I think that there's a time and a place for those people to be captains and in the future, and also have leadership roles within the team and the dressing room. But I just think that wearing the armband as a young player, I think that it's a lot of pressure, and I think that really impacted Max Kilman, in my opinion. I don't think that's going to be the case for Lemina. I really don't. I think he's got a more mature head on his shoulders, and I think he'll just take it in his stride. And you've also heard that he obviously wants to be a manager in the future, so I think he's going to use this as a platform really to better himself with his emotional side and really come into one really. And I'm all for it. I think this is a really good step for Mario Lemina. I think it's a really good step for Wolves. Having a captain that's really vocal, really plays for the badge. I mean, there's times in the last season where he was one of the only players still running on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? That last gasp run forward against Tottenham just says it all for Mario Lemina. He's got an absolute heart of gold. You've seen him how he is, with Fraser, who was the blind kid and everything, and the way he was treating Fraser, and the way he really wanted to win for him and everything. You just see a lot of heart there, and I just think that you really need that as a captain, and especially for Wolves, because we are a very emotional team, because we aren't a big top six side and whatever, and it does seem like we have a lot of things go against us when it comes to officiating and VAR and all these things. And I think that I think you do need someone that's gonna, you know, really drill a point home and everything. I just think that, like Gary O'Neill was saying, I think that's something that they just need to smooth a little bit more. But other than that, this is a really, really amazing appointment for Wolves, in my opinion. I think this is a big step, and I only can see good. Let me know what you think in the comments, obviously, as well. I'd love to know what you guys think as well. And if you like this style of video, let us know in the comments. And yeah, everything that you've heard today and everything, let me know your opinions, definitely. Always get involved as much as I can in the comments. Try and comment and reply to everybody. So yeah, if you like that video, guys, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any further content. There's going to be a load, by the way, and I should just say right at the end of this video as well, I'm apologising for not being around for quite some time, but I've had a lot on with work and everything, and just wanted to focus on that, really. But now I'm fully into it. We've got a pre-season game tomorrow against West Ham, and I'm deciding on what we were going to do, really. It's a midnight game, so I don't know whether we're going to do a watch along or not. We'll see, but we're going to stick around for all of the content that's coming, because there's going to be a lot. And until then, I shall see you on the next one. Ciao, bit.